Hello, you're watching Transforming Media. My name is Ashley, and today I am at the Equality Summit, which has just ended, where a bunch of organizations came together to discuss equality for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. And I'm here with some of the participants and organizers of the event. Will you guys introduce yourselves and tell us your title of the event?
I'm Brandon Bronner. I'm on the board of directors of Equality California. Also co-chair the organizing committee of Vote for Equality through the LA Gay and Lesbian Center.
I'm Alice Kessler. I'm the Government Affairs Director for Equality California, and I'm also on the board of the Sacramento Gay and Lesbian Center.
And I'm Andrea Shorter, and I'm the Director of And Marriage for All, and had the honor of being co-chair for the Equality Summit.
Oh, you were the co-chair for this event?
Yes, I was.
Would you tell us, like, what was
I
the...
still am up until about a minute.
Will you tell us the agenda of the event and what the purpose was?
The purpose was a really ambitious one, and I think that we met that purpose today with flying colors. We wanted to bring everyone together to really talk about how to renew our movement for not only marriage equality, clearly, which is the most immediate goal, but also just to renew our movement as coalition, as a coalitional effort, how to reach out to communities beyond the LGBT community, to communities of color, communities of faith, regional communities that lie outside of San Francisco and Los Angeles proper and so on, and how to be more engaged in the other issues that are affecting people other than just primarily LGBT issues. So that's really the purpose. It wasn't to come away with some, one-size-fits-all monolithic plan about moving forward, but really appreciating diversity and diversity of strategies that can come together and lead us towards victory next time.
So different strategies, multi-issues, reaching out to coalitions that are not LGBT.
Right.
That's like kind of like what Milk did when he passed the Brig Initiative, or
Kept it from being done.
Defeated the Brig Initiative. You're right, but it harkens back to exactly that spirit. It's not just about what happens to Castro, but what happens in Altoona, Pennsylvania. So we're bringing that to the state of California on a grand scale.
And Brandon, can you tell us about like what came out of today's long day?
Yeah, for me specifically, I could say that California is a very large state with a lot of diverse groups within it. I think the Equality Summit was a great first step in bringing us all together, not only to learn from what happened on the No on Proposition 8 campaign, renew our commitment and re-strategize, but also to see what everybody else is doing so that we can successfully move forward and not repeat work other people are doing, but are aware of the work that other people are doing so we can complement it. I think we're much more effective if we gather our strength and continue to move forward. And I think the Equality Summit today was an amazing event that helped us really spur the energy and unite together as one movement, not only in the LGBT community, but in a larger progressive movement with allies as well.
And so was there, I heard there was 150 organizations that registered for this event?
Yeah, and I think there was some like 400 attendees. The room was pretty packed and there was a great energy all throughout the day. It was a pretty good event. A lot of really good conversations went on.
We also had several elected officials that were a part of the event, including the Los Angeles Mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa, was here. And we had our LGBT caucus was here today, as well as members of the Los Angeles City Council and San Francisco elected officials. So I think that really showed the overwhelming support we have from our elected leaders.
And wasn't there some senators here as well?
Yes. Well, the two LGBT caucus members, Senator Mark Leno from San Francisco and Senator Christine Kehoe from San Diego, and then for the closing call to action, we had Senator Gloria Romero from Los Angeles, and she talked about the Prop 187 campaign that was an attack on immigrant rights, and she talked about
some of the... so important.
Absolutely, and some of the lessons learned in that struggle, and how that, we're all linked together, as Brandon said, in one progressive movement, and we need to work together across all of those issues that are, impacting all of our civil rights.
Immigration is so important. I know I'm half Mexican, and I know that my ancestors lived here before anyone else did, so they're not really immigrants.
That's right.
Alice, I've been a really big fan of Equality California for a long time because they sponsor the Transgender Leadership Summit every year. which has been, I think, one of the most instrumental events to happen to the transgender community, because we all come together from San Francisco to San Diego to LA, everywhere, and mobilize, and it's amazing. Can you tell us some of the work that Equality California is doing for transgender legislation?
Yeah, well, I think the Transgender Summit is so important because it's about empowering the transgender community to be those voices of change, and the community itself is really the best advocate for those issues, and so we're doing really important work in the summit, training transgender people to be able to come up and talk to their legislators about key issues like the fact that there are increased barriers to employment for the transgender community, and we're doing work around workforce development to make sure that people can get a decent job and have access to health care. We're doing work around healthcare issues, making sure it's huge.
The crisis.
Right.
I mean, did you hear what Bush did, like, was it a month or two ago, what he did, another anti-trans healthcare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really scary. I mean, so is Equality California going to be able to help with that?
Well, we primarily do work around California law. So while we certainly support the work that national organizations are doing around, Congress and actions of the president, we're primarily focused on California, and we've been able to do a lot of good work here. I mean, we have almost every law in California covers gender identity. Can't discriminate against someone because of their gender identity. It still happens, but it's illegal to do so. We have protections in insurance and education, housing. I mean, and part of our philosophy from the get-go has been we can't advocate for one segment of our community and not another. We've never approached anything without having it be fully inclusive of the entire LGBT community.
So why do you think it's so important for LGBT organizations to go like full speed and aggression ahead with the transgender community in this day and age, and not just do a little bit?
Because anything less wouldn't be equality, and that's our mission. Our mission is equality for everyone, and we're not going to leave part of our community behind ever.
Especially when the transgender community was so much with us in terms of the marriage issue and so many other issues we constantly do. The transgender community is always there showing up for us. In turn, it's very important that we continue to model our solidarity with them and make sure that we're fully inclusive with all our protections.
That is so true, Brandon, because I'm allowed by law in California to marry my boyfriend, but I was there at every major marriage equality event, and so were a lot of my other transgender brothers and sisters that are allowed to get married, because they looked at this as a human rights issue, a civil rights issue, LGBT as a whole, solidarity issue. So it feels good when everyone is doing it together. Yeah, for sure. And so what is there going to be another Equality Summit coming up? Or are they going to convene, or one in San Francisco? Or?
This is Equality Summit 09, so that's a big hint that maybe there'll be an Equality Summit 10.
And we're also having a lobby day in Sacramento about marriage equality on February 17th. And anyone can register to come if they can find their way to Sacramento. We will train them, we'll give them all the materials that they need, and we'll send them in to meet with their elected representatives. So there's information on our website about that.
Which is eqca.org?
That's it. Yep, eqca.org.
Okay, and so anything you guys want to say to the young LGBT people who are watching this? Because a lot of them watch this show.
I would say get involved, do whatever you can to start advancing your basic human and civil rights. It takes all of us working together to make it happen. There's a lot of work to do, and we need everybody on board to make it so.
I would say that marriage equality, of course, is important to all of us, but I think that there are issues beyond marriage equality that really matter, including keeping our schools safe for youth. So we're committed to working on the full range of issues that are going to have our whole community achieve equality.
We need you. You're our future. You're our best hope.
Thank you so much for watching Transforming Media, and the Equality Summit was an amazing event. And definitely get more involved, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.